Good morning. My name is Izzy Harvey, and today I'd like to tell you about oneiromancy. Dreams. We all have them, but do we have them well enough? Evidently not, because in modernity, our dreams give us no medical advice, no portents of the future, and certainly no messages from ancient deities. I cannot tell you how much this upsets me. In our ever-polarizing capitalist landscape, I aim to be as efficient as possible, even while I am sleeping. One day, I will be able to connect my brain to a twisted neural network to complete menial busy work from the comfort of my bed in a deep sleep. However, that day has not yet come. Because of this, I must instead turn to the ancient West Asian magical practice of oneiromancy so that my dreams might be as productive as possible. Oneiromancy is a very broad term for any sort of magic that involves dreaming. It encompasses practices from a wide variety of times and places, but in an ancient West Asian context, it usually refers to either dream incubation or dream interpretation. However, I would like to suggest that there has been a scholarly conflation between dream interpretation and dream incubation, primarily thanks to 1A. Leo Oppenheim. When I originally imagined doing this bit, I was going to use the whiteboard side. That's where my roommates do their garbage schedule, so we just have to deal with the fact that it's a corkboard and you can't really see. A. Leo Oppenheim. The A stands for Adolf. In 1956, our friend, Mr. Oppenheim, publishes a piece, oh no, we're stuck together, called The Interpretation of Dreams in the Ancient Near East. His work is both highly influential and foundational to the study of ancient West Asian oneiromancy. Oppenheim's paper introduces us to all sorts of really good terminology. He defines different types of dreams: message dreams, symbolic dreams, secret third thing, mantic dreams. Maybe I should move, hold on, I'm gonna move this one. Yeah, that's good, that's perfect. Truly, you cannot swing a cat without having this guy in the citations if you're looking up anything to do with dream interpretation or dream incubation, which brings me to my issue. Oppenheim also makes a lot of distinction in his work between dream interpretation and dream incubation. However, later scholars who draw on him, because he is kind of a authoritative, almost primary source for this type of study, they tend to treat everything as dream interpretation because that's what he's primarily writing on. At least, this is my opinion in the reading that I've done. My roommates needed the garbage board back, so we're back here. So what then are the differences between incubation and interpretation? I would say that there are two primary ones: intention and spontaneity. Dreams that are dealt with in dream interpretation are by nature spontaneous, usually in literature to do with dream interpretation, such as what we see in Genesis and the Epic of Gilgamesh. A character has a dream, relays it to a secondary character, and the secondary character interprets that dream as a portent of the future. The dream that they have is in no way predated by a ritual. This is in direct opposition with the practice of dream incubation, the whole point of which is to cause a dream to happen. The rituals in dream incubation have nothing to do with the interpretation of the dream, they're to do with the causing of the dream. Secondly, the two forms of oneiromancy do have different intentions. Based on everything I've seen, dream interpretation is almost always divinatory. It is getting a dream, usually a symbolic dream, and interpreting it to see what's going to happen in the future. Dream incubation can be divinatory, but it's usually less broad. It's not answering a wide range of questions about the future. It's answering a single one. It's binary in the same way extispicy is. Will this happen? Yes or no? And it also has other uses to do with medicine and the warding off of evil spirits and evil dreams. These are all dream incubation. It is much broader than just divination. Now, as I mentioned, I intend to use oneiromancy, specifically dream incubation, in order to maximize my efficiency of my sleep time. So tonight, I will be trying an ancient Mesopotamian dream incubation ritual in order that I might get an answer to my question and therefore have an efficient sleep. So my first step was to find a ritual to do. And if Leo Oppenheim is the it girl of dream interpretation, I would like to suggest Sally Louise Ann Butler as the it girl of dream incubation. She wrote an incredible PhD thesis paper that includes a whole bunch of incantations and rituals to do with dream incubation, and she's my primary source for the ritual that I am doing. So I have here the text of the ritual that I'm planning to do, my dream incubation ritual, as it is written in Butler's thesis. You sweep the roof. You sprinkle pure water to make a circle. You set out a censer of juniper and cheap scented flower. You recite the above incantation 3 times. After performing this ritual, you must speak with no one. You lie down and you will see a dream. If you are performing this ritual for achieving a desire, that's me, then if they give him something, he will achieve his purpose. If they do not give him anything, he will not achieve his purpose. So here are my steps for performing this ritual. Step 1, choose a desire. Step 2, assemble my ingredients. Step 3, perform the ritual, but after I go to my workshop, because I need to be able to talk to people at my workshop, and I don't think I did an ancient dream ritual is a valid excuse to not participate in my workshop. 4, record results. Step 1, define my desire. It has to be binary, a yes or no question. Will this happen or will this not happen? And I want it to be something that I actually want to know. I'm trying to genuinely take the ritual as seriously as possible. I guest played in a really, really good D&D campaign recently. I got invited to just come and do 3 sessions with a group who already plays together. This is my character sheet. This is a drawing of my character. And I would really like to be invited back to play more D&D with them. That is my desire. So, theoretically, if I perform this ritual and in my dream someone, presumably a deity, gives me something, that means that I will be invited back to play more D&D. But if I give something to someone else, that means I will not be invited back to play more D&D. So I've defined my desire. That is step 1. Now, it is time to gather my materials. So, I am outside now. I was originally going to film this there's like a wooded area behind my apartment, but I quickly realized that that is not possible because it is too dark and you wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm instead filming this in the very public park outside my apartment. I'm really hoping that no one walks by and sees me doing this. And good luck. I'm starting by preparing my flour. I put a little bit of perfume into this bowl before I left because it said scented flour. So, okay, that's about how much I'm willing to use considering that I am a college student and I do need flour to cook. As you can see, I have a little bit of flour in there. Secondly, I got this piece of, I think it's juniper outside of a rich person's house in Vancouver. I cut it off their bush because I'm taking this so seriously. My understanding is that a censer is something that you would burn incense in to release smoke. I do not have one of those, but I am committed to burning it. So I did bring a lighter and a pot. Oh, also, I did sweep the ceiling before I left the house. I didn't film it because I felt really stupid doing it, but I did sweep it. And I also have with me my pure water. So I brought a Brita. It's the purest water that I have in my house. Everything is set up. It is to the right of me. There are people around, but that wouldn't stop a true magician. Constellation of the heavens. Your yoke is Ninurta, your pole is Marduk, and your axles are the daughters of Anu and the pure heavens. You rise in Assyria and set your face in Babylon. Without you, the dying cannot die and the living cannot go on a journey. If I will achieve my purpose on the journey I am preparing to start, may the dream visions give me something. If I will not achieve my purpose on the journey I am preparing to start, may they receive something from me. It is the next morning, and I have just woken up. And I did have a dream, but I also woke up incredibly sick. And this could be because I sleep with my window wide open, or it could be some sort of divine punishment for doing an element of the ritual wrong. So in this dream that I had, I was in my old high school, and it was completely empty and totally abandoned, except there was a man there who I had never met before, and he insisted that parsnips and carrots were the same vegetable, that they were indistinguishable from one another. And I know this to be untrue, and I knew this to be untrue in the dream world. So in my old high school foods room, to prove to him that they are different vegetables, I prepared a carrot dish, and he was looking at these glazed carrots and he was like, no, those are parsnips. And he cooked like a parsnip puree, and he was like, here, try it, taste it. And I tasted it, and it tasted like carrots, and then I woke up. So I don't think the actual details of that dream are important at all, but what is important is that he did not accept my dish. He didn't take it, he didn't try it, but I did accept his parsnip carrot dish. So perhaps that was the omen that my desire is to be fulfilled. Now that I have done my ritual and had my dream, I wanted to just do like a final reflection. First of all, do I think that it worked? I mean, I guess I did have a dream. I'm not normally a person who remembers my dreams, so even that's kind of fun and interesting for me. I will say, I am a person who to some extent believes in magic. I do not believe that it has a tangible effect on the world around us, but I do believe that magic is a thing people do and have done. People do rituals, people pray, people practice religion, and all of that is a form of magic. Whether or not it actually affects something is not primarily important to me. I also believe in the power of thought and will. I think that I probably remembered my dream because I did that ritual and because I wanted to remember my dream, and I think that I probably saw meaning in it where I otherwise wouldn't have, because I was intending to see meaning in it. The human mind and human belief is a very powerful thing, probably more powerful than a Brita, a stolen tree branch, and some flour from the supermarket. Overall, I did really enjoy doing this. I have a lot of tenderness for ancient religious practices just because of the thought that something like this might have brought comfort to someone in a world that was far less certain and where information was far less accessible than it is nowadays, or even a couple of centuries ago. So I enjoy thinking about what someone who might have practiced this ritual more seriously and with more earnest intent than I did might have felt. And that is a worthy reason to study this for me, in addition to scholarly pursuits, obviously. So in conclusion, I am getting invited back for D&D because some sort of parsnip-themed deity told me that I was. I had a great time. I would highly recommend doing this. I hope that this was somewhat enjoyable to experience alongside with me.